From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. The mayor for Fort Nelson, BC, says the evacuation order will be lifted as of 8 o'clock this morning local time. Rob Fraser says some of the properties damaged by the Parker Lake wildfire are still extremely dangerous, so access to them will be limited. Some 4,700 people have been out of their homes since May 10th. Fraser says while they'll be allowed back home today, they will still be under evacuation alert, and they'll need to be ready to flee again at a moment's notice.
The conditions around the region are still extremely dry, and we'll need to be thinking about the potential for another fire over this long season that we've got.
Pro-Palestinian protesters who've been camped out at the University of Toronto for weeks will hold a rally this morning in defiance of a trespass order issued by the school. The university has said the protesters must clear the site by 8 a.m. And on Sunday, officials indicated they would seek an injunction in court if protesters don't comply. Organizers say they plan to hold their ground and they'll hold a rally alongside the Ontario Federation of Labor. The two sides met yesterday and protesters were to present a counter-offer calling on the school to disclose and divest from investments in companies profiting from Israel's offensive in Gaza. Tragedy in Papua New Guinea, where a government official has told the United Nations that more than 2,000 people are believed to have been buried alive by that landslide on Friday. The official formally asked for international help for the remote village in the South Pacific island nation. The government figure is roughly triple a UN estimate of 670 killed. A deadly weekend tornado outbreak in the U.S. is being blamed for at least 18 deaths, and the severe weather system is still on the move. Here's reporter Andrew Dimbert.
The death toll climbing in the wake of a multi-state tornado outbreak. At least 18 people have now died after 24 twisters swept across the plains and the south, putting 45 million people in the path of danger.
The minute we got inside, we saw everybody, and the whole room it exploded just that fast.
Among those killed in Texas, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, both from the same family, after a tornado hit the small town of Valley View, north of Dallas.
Scientists are worried climate change is pushing the potential boundaries of a wide range of diseases and their carriers northwards into Canada. A federal report says there were over 3,100 reported cases of Lyme disease in this country in 2021. That's an increase of 1,000% from a decade earlier. Researcher Justin Wood said climate change is helping black-legged ticks that carry Lyme expand their habitat into Canada while making them more active and expanding their lifespans. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the NHL playoffs saw the New York Rangers blow a 2-goal lead in the third period, but Alex Wenberg's goal at 5:35 of overtime lifted them to a 5-4 win over the Florida Panthers. The Rangers grabbed a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Game 3 of the Western Conference Final gets underway in Edmonton Monday night. The host Oilers and the Dallas Stars are tied at 1 game apiece. In women's hockey, Alina Muller scored at 18:36 of the second overtime period Sunday night to give Boston a 1-0 victory over Minnesota in the Professional Women's Hockey League Championship Final Series. The Boston win forces a 5th and deciding game at home on Wednesday night. Joseph Newgarden put his cheating scandal behind him to become the first back-to-back winner of the Indianapolis 500 since Elio Castroneves did it 22 years ago. It gave Roger Penske a record-extending 20th win. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.